Cormac Bates 161796668. So this is my week 8 monologue for the module WT4028, and this week I've done it slightly differently, so I'm just going to sort of look at these three topics under each of these headings, rather than go back over the portfolio again, which is kind of I've shown so far, or shown already as to kind of more or less where I am at the minute in previous weeks. So I suppose starting off there, as we learned last week, we're going to have to do a model of the artifact now, or a high fidelity prototype, so rather than making the actual artifact itself. So I've opted, as I said last week, for a SolidWorks model, which I have started this week, but is kind of haven't, I suppose, enough done to kind of go through what I've done so far. So I've kind of started to incorporate in a slightly new design, just from my feedback I received maybe in week 6. So I've changed around the design a little bit, and I've kind of started modelling that at the minute to see how that goes, which I would have done anyways if we were still physically making the model. So I'm moving on with that now at the minute. In terms of the portfolio, I didn't want to go back over it all again, as I'm kind of fixing it up at the minute in terms of my feedback I received from the week 6 monologue. So I'm kind of adjusting that at the minute, and I've put in a little bit extra research and things like that into that will just link in with the new design. And then moving on, so looking at the implications now, I suppose, that we can't actually physically make the mod or the artifact. So looking at SolidWorks, then I suppose it's kind of going to be hard to show like the true sort of dimensions and the sort of overall look of the artifact now, you only using SolidWorks. So obviously try and incorporate as much as you can in terms of the design and the functionality of it, but in terms of the finish of the overall piece and all that kind of stuff, we're going to have to, I suppose, pick up in the portfolio. Just going to have to really try and incorporate that in as much as we can, and also I suppose any problems that we may have run into in the physical make of the artifact, I suppose can't really be shown now in SolidWorks. So that's another implication now of having to do a model over the physical make of the artifact. The design then, as I've said, I've kind of maybe fixated on my initial design ideas, so I've kind of changed up my design at the minute, and I'm currently modelling that to see if it is feasible design. And then, as I just mentioned, then in the portfolio we're going to have to really pick up on any sort of aspects that can't really be shown through SolidWorks. So what finishes we would have used, the preparation timber, a lot of that sort of stuff is going to have to be really picked up or kind of honed in on in the portfolio now, to make up for that. And also I suppose we're going to have to be attempting to figure out what problems we may have run into in the physical make of the model of the artifact, as we go through the SolidWorks model. So going forward then, this week I'm going to continue modelling the SolidWorks, hopefully get a final or a feasible design and get that model finished itself, as I say. So hopefully the design will be finalised, because I'm just sort of modelling up the new design at the minute, which I would have done anyway, as I mentioned. And in terms of the portfolio then, I hope to kind of get what I've done so far up to date, correct in regards to feedback I've received, and improved, and get that sort of finished, and then just keep moving forward with all of this. And I suppose going to have to try and hone in on all those problems that we maybe could have ran into in terms of the physical make now, and try and come up with them as we go along with the SolidWorks models, and just try and see like where problems could have arose, and then we'll have working drawings and all that from SolidWorks model, which will be a plus.